So that's a portion of the photograph I had seen on the internet, described as T4 victims, albeit in concentration death camp garb. I just wrote the Holocaust Museum in DC and asked if they had information as to where and when. Also what color the uniforms were and why there's a white triangle pointed up below the black triangle that's on the top there. So that's the figure I'm doing the drawing of. I made a photocopy enlargement there. And there's the drawing in progress. Today will be the third day, May 9th, 2017, so I've got a long way to go here. Okay, this is in evolution. It's now going to be called a disabled Jewish prisoner at Buchenwald concentration death camp, 1938, with sketchbook scenes from my life from 1972, 1980s, 1990s, and 2000s. And some of them are undated, from hikes or walks around parks. 1972. That's also 1972. People, animals, birds. And two sketchbook sketches relating to failed relationships in the what Robert Desnos would have called sorrows of love. This is a portrait I did of the person I was traveling with in Britain in winter 2009, who I'd gone out with for several months prior to our leaving in mid-January for Britain. And sadly for me, she shut down the very morning of the very day we flew out from Seattle, and was not just withdrawn, but was verbally abusive to me during the 3 weeks of the trip. Naturally, the relationship ended, not without a lot of pain. There was a great deal of pain. So I look at this portrait, I feel pain and anguish, not dissimilar to how I feel in all these portraits of victims of the Nazis and fascists, and also portraits of people murdered, portrayed in my companion Sightseeing with Dignity Human Rights art series. A little that's X-rated in the bird community. These are 3 sketches I did for a section of the Under the Wings drawing of Robert Desnos titled Sorrows of Love, homage to Robert Desnos, the French surrealist poet, anti-Nazi activist who perished after liberation, sadly, weighing, well, he had high fever, typhoid or typhus, and died after liberation while being tended to by a young medical student who tried to save his life. The story of that is written in a very poignant passage in the book, The Last Album, Ice in the Ashes of Auschwitz, edited by Anne Weiss, published in 2000 or 2001. This sketch for a never done artwork to follow was also from a aftermath of a failed relationship. I had the in the sketch, the then newly X was on like a skiff, like a small boat, harpooning me. All the anguish of the sorrows of love. This here was also a sketch for an Under the Wings series work, study for Under the Wings 48, Italian Jewish resistance hero Eugenio Curiel, Castel Sant'Angelo, and my flying chi, Obi Juju Kenobi. There's a reproduction of it as it was published in Jewish Currents Journal in winter 2011-12. So photographs of this work and the Robert Desnos work can be seen in a Flickr album of Under the Wings works. So there you have it for now. The drawing is now going to progress. Working my way down the upper torso from the photo and the photo enlargement I made of the inmate. I'm going to go clockwise here around the border areas where I've adhered different sketches from sketchbooks dating back to 1972. I'll start on top there. Without going into the history of all of them, I'm just going to show them here. Some were drawn in Scotland, some in Seattle's Green Lake Park. This here and the Avignon and Par Avignon were kind of sketches for a section of Under the Wings number, I believe it's 51, Sorrows of Love, homage to Robert Desnos, the French surrealist poet and anti-Nazi activist who perished at Terezin after liberation. This here was a study for Under the Wings 48, Italian Jewish resistance hero Eugenio Curiel, Castel Sant'Angelo, and my flying chi, Obi Juju Kenobi. And if one looks at a photograph of that completed artwork, you'll see a section which has the same shape, but much more worked up in the actual drawing. This section here from a plate in the book Jewish Art and Civilization, published in 1972, the chapter on Germany. It was a kind of cloth thing for Passover, and I kind of interpretatively copied several lines of German and Hebrew text on it. This girl figure here, inspired by these photos of these dolls and marionettes made by camp inmates, which were published in these plates. It was like 12 plates by Yad Vashem from an exhibit they had called No Child's Play, Children in the Holocaust, Creativity and Play. This one here is titled Marionette, made by 14-year-old Jan Klein and his teacher Walter Freund at Terezin. This one here, doll dressed in prisoner's uniform, made by Roma Alter in the Auschwitz death camp. I'd like to extend hearty thanks to Yad Vashem for getting the history correct. Auschwitz was not a concentration camp. Even if it was called such by the Nazis, it was a mass murder, extermination, death camp. About 1.5 million people were murdered there, mainly Jewish. It should never be called a concentration camp unless one is intentionally trying to abet the cause of professional Holocaust deniers and the people behind those groups and their websites, who are professional haters and bigots against Jewish people. All right, that's it. To be continued, because there's going to be a mosaic created around the entire drawing after I frame the drawing and get the wood base for the mosaic. It is May 19th, 2017. I completed the drawing last night, and now to proceed on to the next phase of the creating the artwork, which is going to be to get plywood for the base for the mosaic and figure out how I'm going to frame the drawing, which will be in the center with the mosaic to surround it. So major phase 1 now completed. I completed it, ironically enough, last night, which was the evening of the day of the 100th anniversary of the birth of my father, who was born May 18th, 1917. All right, there you have it.